Hello, Hannah. Are you still awake? I guess you've probably fallen asleep already. I know you're in a dark place right now. I bet that you're mentally scarred after getting divorced so recently. You probably spent all day in bed, right?
Good morning, Kate. I didn't expect to get a message from you so early in the morning. I don't really get what you're saying to me. Is this about what I posted on my Instagram?
Yeah, I read your most recent post and thought I should message you. I made sure to like your post, by the way. I was really surprised to see that you had announced your divorce on Instagram.
Yeah, I guess most people wouldn't make that kind of announcement on Instagram. I thought about it a little before posting it because I knew it would be on the internet forever. My account is private and I know everybody that follows me, so I decided it would be okay. I thought it would save me having to tell everyone about my divorce one by one.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. All your friends know about your divorce now. I guess it would be pretty depressing having to talk about your divorce over and over to all of your friends.
Exactly. I didn't think I would be strong enough to do that. That's when I realized posting on Instagram would be the easiest solution. Now all my friends know about my divorce and I won't have to explain it over and over.
I see. That all makes sense now. I respect you for being strong enough to do that. I'm really glad that I was able to find out about your divorce so quickly. Thank you so much.
Why are you thanking me? I'm a little confused. I didn't do anything to be thanked for, did I?
Actually, you did something very important for me. I've actually been keeping a secret from you, and I think I can almost tell you about it.
I really have no idea what you're talking about. Would you tell me what this secret is?
Actually, I have no time to be talking around with you anymore. There's so much that I need to get done now. I need to hurry up and take action before it's too late. Thank you so much for getting divorced.
Take action? What in the world are you talking about? I'm completely lost. Just tell me what's going on.
This has nothing to do with you right now, so you don't need to worry. I'll tell you about it if it becomes relevant to you at some point. I don't have the time to be explaining it all to you right now.
Okay. I guess I'll be waiting for you to contact me?
I'm going to be really busy from now on. There's so many things that I've got to do. Once I have everything ready and prepared, I'll contact you with the details.
What details? Just tell me what's happening.
Sorry, no time to talk now. Goodbye. Hello, Hannah. Hope you're doing better now.
I'm doing completely fine. What's the matter this time? Can you just hurry up and explain what's happening to me?
Open up Instagram and check my latest post. Make sure you leave a like.
Your latest Instagram post. Okay. Hold on a minute. Wait, what? Are you serious? You got a divorce as well?
Yeah, I did. Are you surprised? I managed to get divorced from my husband earlier this morning.
He was really surprised when I told him I wanted a divorce. Wait, what? You also got married again?
I'm glad you read the important part of my post. I finally managed to get married to the man that I really love. I'm so happy that I managed to get together with the person that I was destined for.
So, the reason that you got divorced was because there was another guy that you fell in love with?
Yeah, pretty much. It was terrible being married to someone that I didn't love. I wanted to get a divorce with him for such a long time now.
You wrote in your post that you also gave all the parental rights for your child to your ex-husband?
Yeah, I had to do that so that he wouldn't sue me. I wanted to keep my parental rights, but he told me he wouldn't sue me if I didn't keep my parental rights. It's much more important that I don't have to pay him any settlement fees. I gave him full custody so he'd agree, and got divorced with him.
So that's why you wrote that you no longer have a child on your Instagram. I'm surprised he was kind enough not to sue you.
Kind? Are you serious? I can't believe that he tried to sue me for having an affair. I didn't even do anything that bad.
You had an affair? I'm sorry to say this, but I kind of agree with your ex-husband. You're the one in the wrong.
Yeah, whatever. I really don't care about it anymore. Now that I think about it, I don't really care about losing my parental rights either. I don't want to have to raise a child that's related to my ex-husband. I really hate him now. I probably would have given him the parental rights no matter what.
I'm sorry to say this, but I think that you're definitely in the wrong about this. You really need to apologize to your ex-husband. What would Dan think if he found out you said all of this?
I can't believe that you're taking his side. If anything, I should be the one suing him. He caused me so much emotional stress over this divorce. I thought that you sued your husband when you guys got divorced. The woman is always the one receiving the money, right?
Not always. In my case, I had a valid reason to sue him and ask for money.
So I should also ask for some money from my ex-husband, right?
That's not what I'm trying to say. You can only sue someone if they do something wrong or cause damage to you or your property. You can't just sue your husband for money because you're a woman. That's not how it works.
I completely forgot to tell my parents about my divorce. I was meant to do that before I texted you. I think I'm going to be really busy for the next few days, so I won't be able to reply to any of your texts. Make sure you get all your preparations done within the next few days.
Wait, what are you talking about? What preparations? I really have no idea what this is about.
Sorry, gotta go now. Goodbye!
Hey, Hannah. Look who it is! It's the man that cheated on me! Oh, wait. You're also my ex-husband. I completely forgot. What the hell do you want from me? I'm really sorry about everything. I had no intention of ever contacting you again, but something came up. It's an emergency, and you were the only person that I could ask. Do you have some time right now? Fine. Make it quick. Thanks so much. You had a friend called Kate, right? Yeah, I do have a friend called Kate. Why does that matter to you? Well, I'm not really sure how to say this. What is it? Just tell me. She suddenly turned up at my parents' house and introduced herself to them as my new wife. What? I can't believe it! What is wrong with you? I can't believe you would cheat on me with one of my friends! No, it's not like that. I'm really telling the truth this time. My dad had the same reaction as you when he called me about it. He was furious at me and demanded an explanation. There's really nothing for me to explain. I don't even have her number. I'm just as confused as you guys are about this. Are you really telling the truth? I am. I swear. I've only met her a couple of times when I went to pick up Lacey from preschool. The only thing that I know about her is her name and that her kid's name is Dan. That's really it. In fact, I only found out about her name after she visited my parents. Do you know any idea about what's going on? I guess you really are telling the truth. You're her friend, right? Surely you know why she's doing this. I just remembered that she told me that she got divorced from her husband so that she could get married to the person that she really loved. That was yesterday, I think. I guess the person that she really loved is you? You were the one she was having an affair with? That is definitely not true. Please, believe me. This is a nightmare. The only person that I love is Emma. I am not going to be unfaithful to her. Yeah, whatever. Just hearing her name makes me furious. Why are you still furious? I've paid you back for all of that. You sued me, and I paid the money that you and your lawyer demanded. I didn't have an affair with this woman called Kate, all right? You better not try to take even more money from me. I don't have any savings left thanks to you. I bet you were messaging me to tell me this. How pathetic. Don't worry about it. I won't see you again if you're telling the truth. I've already got my revenge for you having an affair with Emma. Okay, good. You better not go back on your words. I won't. Don't worry about it. Are you really sure about it? Like 100% sure? Yes! I already said yes! Don't make me even more angry at you. Now leave me alone!
Hey, Hannah. What's taking you so long? I really need you to start acting pretty soon. Otherwise, I'm going to be in some trouble. I've been giving you a lot of extra time because you're one of my friends. I'm starting to lose my patience now. I will get angry if you're going to keep delaying this.
What in the world are you talking about?
I'm going to bring all my belongings to that house later today, so make sure there's space for me to leave all the boxes. We're going to start moving in pretty soon.
What do you mean by that house? What house are you talking about?
Stop trying to act like you don't know. I'm talking about the huge house that you and your ex-husband Sam used to live in.
I still don't get what you're talking about.
I really do understand why you're acting like you don't know what's going on. Even I wouldn't want to lose such a nice house like that. Still, you need to own up to your mistakes and leave the house. You got divorced with him, so you have no right living there anymore.
I have no right to live here?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Make sure you move out of that house by the end of the day.
You really are insane, Kate.
If you don't move out by the end of the day, I'm going to have to punish you. I'm going to make you pay me the $30,000 settlement that he paid you in settlement fees.
Wait, what? Where did you get the number 30,000 from?
I heard that around $30,000 is the max amount paid when people get sued for having an affair. I know that he's really rich, so I thought that you would have received around $30,000 in settlement fees.
So that's how you came up with $30,000.
That house that you're living in belongs to him as well. I'm going to start living there with him, so you need to get out. Hurry up and leave. I'm starting to get really impatient.
Do you really want my house and my ex-husband that badly?
You're going to give me both, right? In fact, you guys are already divorced. He's already mine. You better not try to take him back from me. The house is mine too, by the way. I really don't understand why he allowed you to keep living there even after the divorce.
I'm sorry to say this to you, but there's some things that I need to tell you.
What is it?
I think that there's been some misunderstandings. The huge house that you keep on trying to claim is my parents' house.
What are you talking about? That can't be true.
Actually, it is true. My parents gave it to me in their will when they passed away.
I can't believe it.
When we got divorced, he was the one that had to move out because this house is my property. He gathered up all his belongings and left on the day that we got divorced. I heard that he's temporarily moved in with the woman that he had an affair with. They're living together in a tiny apartment room.
What tiny apartment room? I don't live in an apartment room at all. I literally just moved out of the high-rise condo that I used to live in with my ex-husband.
So that means...
Sam should have told me if he rented out an apartment room to live in with me.
Do you really not get what's happening?
I can't believe that huge house wasn't his property. I thought that I would be able to live there. I've got to complain to him about this later today.
I think it's time you accept the reality. This is just getting sad now.
What are you talking about? I can't believe he made such a huge mistake already. We only just got married. I wish we could have got off to a better start.
I'm sorry to tell you this, but the person that he's in love with isn't you. It's another woman. Her name's Emma.
Wait, what did you just say?
I can't really tell you the details about it, but he's dating someone else. He fell in love with a university student. She's the only person that he loves right now, apparently.
A university student? You're not serious, right? This isn't even funny.
I'm dead serious. She's the reason that I decided to get a divorce with him. He cheated on me with her and also managed to get her pregnant. Her becoming pregnant with his child was the final straw for me. I just couldn't forgive him for that.
Wait, what? He got her pregnant?
I think that they got engaged a few days ago. I guess that they didn't really have a choice as she wants to give birth to the child.
This can't be true. I'm the one that got married to him. The person that he should love is me. You're just lying to try to make me feel bad.
Why would I even do that? I heard that you visited his parents' house and introduced yourself to them as his new wife.
How do you know about that?
He contacted me the other day about it. He thought that I would know more about it because me and you are friends. I was really surprised to receive a text from him like that. He was saying that he only loved one person. Unfortunately, the person he was talking about wasn't you.
What is wrong with him? That means that he cheated on me. I can't believe that he didn't think of me seriously. I sacrificed so much so that I could be with him. I got divorced with my husband and gave up custody of Dan. I did absolutely everything for him. I can't believe that he didn't think the same way about me.
I don't really know if it's appropriate to ask you this, but did you even have an affair with him at all?
Are you seriously asking me that? Of course I am. That's why I turned my whole life upside down to be with him.
Well, when I was talking to him, he told me that he barely even knew you. The only time he saw you is when he went to pick up Lacey from preschool. He also told me that you guys don't even have each other's numbers. Are you really sure that you both feel the same way about each other?
I'm absolutely sure. We only met a couple of times, but there was a real connection between us. We're definitely destined for each other. I'm not going to let some random university student get in the way of our love.
I think that there's been some misunderstanding between you guys.
I know that I'm right. Every time we made eye contact, I felt a deep connection between us. I could feel him being deeply attracted to me.
You really are crazy, aren't you?
How dare you say that to me? When he got divorced with you, I knew it was a secret message to me. He wanted to get married to me, and that's why he got divorced from you. He made such a bold decision for me. I knew I had to do the same, and that's why I got a divorce as well. I can't believe that he had another woman. What in the world is going on?
I think you just made some wild assumptions that didn't end up being true. He never loved or even thought about you a single bit when we got divorced. It's not like I'm on his side or anything, but I think that you're the one in the wrong about this. I actually hired an agent to help me gather evidence of him having an affair. None of the evidence that I received had anything about you at all.
Are you really sure? Maybe your agent just didn't do a very good job.
Actually, he did a very good job. He got me so much evidence of him cheating on me. Either way, I think that you should just give up on him. He's already gotten engaged to the woman that he got pregnant. I doubt that he's going to leave her for you. It feels weird for me to say this, but I think he's really in love with her. There's no way that you can win him back.
What am I going to do now? My life is ruined. I got divorced so that I could be with him. I abandoned my parental rights because I thought that I could have another child with him. My parents were furious with what I did, and they both cut ties with me completely. The huge house that I thought I would be living in was actually your property. Now I'm completely alone and have nothing left. I don't even have a place to sleep. Would you please let me live at your place until I find a new place to live? We're friends, right?
Yeah, about that. I decided to rent that house out to a family. Make sure that you don't intrude, okay? I'm not living there anymore.
Wait, what? You rented it out?
Yeah, I signed a contract with them already. They told me that they would move in later this week. Don't you dare step foot into that house without their permission. You guys are complete strangers to each other.
Where are you living then? Did you find another place nearby?
Not nearby. I took my children with me and moved to the countryside near my grandparents. I don't live anywhere near you now.
Wait, so you moved out of the city?
Yeah, I'm very far away now. I didn't really want to raise my children in the city. I thought it would be better for all of us if I raised them in the countryside with some help. I think I've got to get going soon. I'm taking my grandparents and children on a short vacation to the beach. I'm going to be the one driving the car, so I won't be able to reply to you anymore. Best of luck finding a place to live. I'm not going to help you in any way.
Wait, you can't just abandon me like this. We're best friends. Where am I meant to even go? I really have no one that I can depend on.
That's for you to figure out. I'm going now. Goodbye. Kate had nowhere to go, so she decided to go back to her ex-husband's condo. However, when she arrived, no one was home. In fact, all the rooms were completely empty. Her ex-husband had taken their children and moved somewhere else. She couldn't contact him anymore, so she gave up. The next place that she decided to go was Sam and his new wife's apartment room. As soon as the door to the apartment opened, she barged into their room and started shouting. She demanded that he get married to her instead and kept on shouting at the newly married couple. This continued for about an hour until the neighbors called the police. She was escorted out of the apartment room by some police and got taken to the police station. I have no idea why, but she called me to explain her innocence to the police. I told the police that I had no idea what she was talking about and hung up. I blocked her contact number and all of her social media profiles so that I would never have to interact with her again. I'm thinking of changing my phone number as well, just to be safe.
Hey, Mom. Sorry to bother you. Is now a good time to talk? Good evening, Portia. Is something the matter? Look, let me be blunt. You took money out of my wallet again, didn't you? Be honest with me. I beg your pardon. I knew I put $1,000 in here earlier, but I'm only counting $800 right now. That seems rather odd, at least to me. You realize this is the third time you've pulled this trick on me, right? Now, hold your horses for just a moment. How does your money vanishing from right under your nose have anything to do with me? Isn't it much more likely you simply miscounted earlier and you only put $800 in your wallet to begin with? Not to mention the fact you'd go out of your way to accuse me without a shred of evidence pointing in my direction. Oh, I've got evidence, and it's pointing to you all right, if that's what you're looking for. You do? You're bluffing, right? My wallet was inside my bag, in which I keep a small digital recorder tucked away for work. However, I must have accidentally left it recording while I was in there and forgotten to turn it off. Silly me, right? And thanks to my mistake, I got to hear something interesting it picked up. Darn, there's only $1,000 in here. That's chump change. Oh well, if I take just 200 out, Portia will be left thinking she counted wrong, won't she? You've got a nasty habit of talking to yourself, don't you, Kathy? You had me bugged? That just has to be illegal. I know it is. Not exactly. It's only bugging if I placed the microphone in your bag or tapped your phone lines. I'm just telling you about some curious things my own recorder picked up while inside my bag full of my possessions. That's clearly invasion of privacy. Clearly. Privacy got invaded the moment you decided to steal my money, you thief. Oh, you wretched girl. You must not have thought things through very hard, given you're now stealing from your own rent money at this point. Rent money? What are you going on about? The lease on your place is under your son's name. You haven't forgotten that in your old age, have you? Of course I know about the lease. But what does that have to do with anything? Well, Scott's away on a business trip this month. He usually pays by wiring the money to your landlord, but it must have slipped his mind this month since he's so busy, so he messaged me about it. I figured I'd just take the rent money out in cash and go to your landlord myself to deliver it, hence the $1,000 in my wallet. Which, as I'm sure you understand now, is the same wallet you took $200 from earlier today. That's completely preposterous. I have no intent to go along with this fantasy you're constructing for yourself. I'm gonna go ahead and talk to Scott about it. Then we'll see who's living in a fantasy. Look, I'm sure you've got more than enough to cover it in your pension, so just be reasonable and give the money you took back to me, please. Now wait just a moment. Oh, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe you made copies of her house key at some point without asking us about it first. I'll be wanting any and all of those keys you're holding on to. Your accusations of theft are one thing, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with me having a key to my own son's house. There's nothing wrong with trying to keep a mother who steals from her own son from getting inside our house either. There's something seriously wrong with you, lady. What were you thinking, sneaking into her house in the middle of the night like that? grief. You realize it's still morning, don't you? Can't this wait till at least lunchtime? Some of us are trying to get our booty sleep. I set up a hidden camera on the front porch after our little chat last night. Okay, and what does this have to do with me? You were caught on that camera sneaking inside, barefoot and quiet as a mouse. I took all the duplicate keys back from you last night, or so I thought. But I'm guessing now that you hid some from me, didn't you? Naturally. I figured you'd do something like this, befitting of your hysterical nature, so I had another copy made and tucked away in case of emergencies. Consider yourself outsmarted, young lady. Whether or not you're some kind of criminal mastermind, I think changing the locks on the door will thwart whatever ridiculous plan you try next. Are you out of your mind? Scott's the man out of the house. Do you really think he'll allow something like that to happen to his own mother? I'm the one with my name on the lease, and trust me, the woman of the house has no problems changing the locks. You're kidding me, right? Look, just because Scott isn't here, it doesn't mean you can do whatever you want. More to the point, what were you even trying to accomplish by coming here at night anyways? I don't have to explain myself, and you know it. In fact, you're no better than me, so I suggest you get off that pedestal you placed yourself upon. You've got some nerve thinking I'd expose myself to a daughter-in-law who's kept more than her fair share of secrets from me. My fair share of secrets? What are you going on about? Oh, nothing really. I'm just taking a look at the deposits you've been making to your savings account over the last year. Wait, my savings account? How are you even seeing that? Scott might have picked a rotten woman to be his bride, but at least you're a hard worker if my eyes don't deceive me. I haven't a clue what you do for work, but with a salary of $200,000 a year, I can't imagine you want to quit anytime soon, huh? Did you seriously break into my house just to look at my finances? Who's to say for certain? Are you out of your mind? On the contrary, I feel a certain sense of clarity now. Take notes if you have to, Portia, because I'm going to explain this to you now. The role of a wife is to serve her husband and his family above all else. If you find yourself unable to handle that responsibility, I'm sure handing over your earnings will be a sufficient way to support the family, especially given how much you've apparently been hoarding from me. To make this easier for your little brain to handle, I'll be managing your account from here on out. Excuse me? What do you mean managing? Your net worth and your intelligence don't seem to add up, so allow me to rephrase this for you. $200,000 a year is far too much money for a woman of your age. You're only 31 after all. I've been making purchases left and right this morning, and I'm still sitting on $150,000. I hope you don't mind if I continue to indulge myself with this fortune of yours. Oh God, please don't tell me you're serious. Did you actually break in so you could take my checkbook and my debit card? Took you long enough to realize. Give those back to me now or else. Oh, don't be ridiculous. I haven't done wrong. You're just too greedy to understand. I'm merely claiming what's rightfully mine. I don't remember that money being yours in the first place. I'm going to explain this to you one more time, so clean your ears out. A wife's role is to serve the family, and that goes for her money too. In other words, your role is to serve me, and that's what I'm helping you accomplish. Unlike you, I'll be putting this money to good use, so why don't you go back to work and keep supporting me like you should? Put a sock in it already. Good morning, honey. Can we talk right now? I've got a bit of an emergency on my hands.
Morning, sunshine. I'm on my way to meet with a client, but I took the train, so I've got some time before my stop. Yeah, what's going on?
I'll just cut to the chase. It's about your mother.
My mom? Is she alright? Did she hurt herself or something?
Let's just say without you around to keep her in check, she's sort of gone berserk. First, she made copies of her house key without telling me, then snuck inside while I was at work and took $200 from my wallet of the rent money I'd taken out.
Are you kidding me? Why would she do something like that?
I wish that was all that happened, but it gets a lot worse. Once I found out about the duplicate keys, I asked her to give them all back to me, but I guess she had another one hidden away. And now she's used that secret key to break in while I was sleeping, find out my finances, and steal my debit card and checkbook just to get back at me.
This is insane. How could she stoop so low over something so petty? She's not draining your account, is she?
No, I nipped that one in the bud. While we were having our little battle of wits, I quickly called someone from the bank and got them to freeze my account.
Phew, thank God. I'm still mortified, but that's at least one less thing to worry about.
Plus, she doesn't know my card's PIN number, the password for my account, and she definitely can't forge my signature, so it's more of a bargaining chip for her.
Ah, right. I should have known she wouldn't think that far ahead. She tends to act without much foresight, though I'm not sure if that's a good or bad trait for our purpose at this point. Her plan must have been to use the things she already took from you as leverage to pressure you into giving up your password or signing checks for her or something. I'm so sorry, honey. Even if she's my mom, this is completely inexcusable behavior. Back when Dad was around, he was the only one who could keep her from blowing all our money on some crazy shopping spree. Without him to keep her from spiraling out of control, she's become a dragon protecting its hoard of treasure.
Yeah, it definitely feels like she's breathing fire on me right about now. At any rate, I've stopped her from using my savings, plus the $200 she stole was already going to her rent, and I even asked her if she'd return the money to you.
Understood. It sounds like you've done everything you can. I'll talk some sense into her, don't worry.
Thanks, babe. I think if anyone can get through to her, it'll be you. Also, after all this chaos from last night, do you think it's time to execute that plan we talked about?
Yeah, I think so. As far as I'm concerned, this was the last straw for her. It's time we played our trump card against Mom.
Got it. I'll start getting ready in that case.
Great. Sorry you have to get your hands dirty to make things right, but I'm counting on you.
I know your phone is on, Portia. Answer my calls now or else. Hello, Kathy. What can I do for you on this fine day? Drop the act. You know I'm not here for small talk. I'm pretty sure you're the one who wanted to talk in the first place, so excuse me for trying to be polite. Oh, forget it. Just tell me why I can't use your savings account anymore. I need your support. How else do you expect me to pay back my debt? You're in debt? Wait a second. Did you take out some kind of risky loan or something? Yes, and I'm in deep trouble if I can't pay them back today. Taking out a bunch of cash at once would have been troublesome, so I figured I'd just write a check using your savings account. I plan to hand off the check to this loan shark who came by the house, but if I can't actually pay him back, he said he'd... Oh, I can't bear to repeat it. Obviously, you can't use my money to pay off your loans, shark or no shark. You don't have my password, my signature, anything that you actually need. Won't he be able to just find out your password? I thought young people were able to do that sort of thing with computers. What do you think this is, some kind of spy movie? You're dealing with a scumbag, not some kind of genius hacker. Not that knowing my password would do you any good. I had my account frozen the day you stole my debit card. You did what? How dare you do something like that behind my back? That's my account, in case you forgot, and I can do with it and the money as I please. I told you, what's yours is mine. That's what a woman should do for her mother-in-law. Do you really think I have any need of your backwards views? That the world actually abides by the nonsense you spew to justify yourself? You're a woman. You're supposed to serve my son's family. You're supposed to serve me, myself, and I, not anyone else, and certainly not yourself. This is the way the world works, and the way it always will, so get used to it. Once a baby boomer, always a baby boomer. Guess you can't teach old dogs new tricks, right? What did you just call me? Oh well, I guess there's no use. It's clear you won't change your tune no matter how many times I say no, so I ought to just throw in the towel. That's more like it. I'm not sure what took you so long, but I'm glad you finally came to your senses. Now, hurry up and tell me your password so I can rid myself of this nuisance.
No, I don't think I will. What's the point of letting you have that money when we were going to spend it on you anyway? That money I was apparently hoarding from you. Scott and I were saving up to get you one of those nice luxury condos downtown using that account.
A luxury condo? For me?
Shortly before he died, Scott talked with Charlie a lot about what would happen to you. Even when he was in the hospital, all he did was think about you. After all, he knew you weren't getting any younger, and he wanted us to take good care of you. However, the two of us thought it through, and we knew that given how horrible you've treated me since I married Scott, living together would be a nightmare. Not to mention you'd probably be stealing from me even more if we lived under the same roof. So we thought we'd get 2 apartments in the same building. That way we'd be close by while still keeping ourselves safe. That was the plan, at least. When you stole my savings from me, you stole the plan we'd been building for you for years now.
Oh, so that's why you were saving up so much. Well, why didn't you just say so sooner, darling? If I knew that's what you were planning, I would have handed it back right away. Better yet, I would never have taken it at all. Here, I'll head over as soon as I can to give all this back to you, and we can make things right.
I'm afraid it's too late for that. I wouldn't bother trying to make amends.
Too late? Come now, surely we can talk about this.
We've already decided to move into a new place without you.
What? But what about your plan?
After all the hell you put me through when I called you out for stealing from me, Scott and I decided we were done dealing with you. You pushed us to our limits with your greed, and neither of us feel like you can undo the damage at this point.
Oh, knock it off with this sensitive garbage. You're my daughter-in-law, now act like it. You'll get me one of those apartments too if you know what's good for you. If I know what's good for me? I must have a pretty thick skull, because you're not drilling that into me no matter how many times you say it. Lucky for you, a wife's job isn't to understand. It's to do as she's told without question.
Even if I wanted to, and I don't, we've already moved out, so I think it's a bit of a moot point.
You already moved?
We decided it'd be better if you didn't know where we live now, but we got set up pretty fast after Scott started his new job.
New job? Scott would never do that without telling me.
You're right. Normally he wouldn't. Then again, we can't have you breaking into his office or something, can we?
Well, I'll just find out where you're working. It shouldn't be too hard with all your finance records at my disposal.
You can try all you like, but I've been doing freelance work for months now.
Freelance?
Yeah, just another tidbit I figured you'd be better off not knowing. I was making more money working independently on the side than at the office, so I quit.
You've turned my son against me, and now you're both acting like spoiled brats.
I'm going to be honest, I don't think you're in any position to be calling someone a spoiled brat. Oh yeah, and about your apartment, Scott still cares about you enough that he's paid your rent through March. After that, though, you're on your own, and you won't be seeing a cent from either of us, I guarantee it.
On my own? But Scott would never turn his back on his mother, would he? You said it yourself. Even Charlie said it. It's your responsibility to take care of me when I'm an old woman.
If you wanted us to be a part of your life, maybe you shouldn't have worked so hard to piss us off like you did.
You talk a big game, but when I talk to Scott, I bet he'll see reason.
I doubt you'll be getting much out of him, seeing as he's already blocked your number.
Blocked? What does that even mean?
It means he's not seeing your messages or getting your calls, and I plan to do the same after I finish explaining all of this to you. I just happen to have a lot of stuff to get off my chest first, so I've kept you around until I could give you a piece of my mind.
You know, Portia, I think we really got off on the wrong foot earlier.
Actually, I feel pretty good, so thanks a bunch for letting me blow off some steam, Mom. I'll be changing my phone number now, so this will be the last you hear from either of us.
Wait, please don't go. We have so much to talk about still. No, we don't. Consider yourself lucky I didn't call the cops on you, ma'am. You're not listening to me. I need you too. I can't live on my own. Farewell and good luck finding another sucker to steal from out there. When I explained the situation to my friends, they told me they thought we should have had her arrested. But I heard she really was in deep with some loan sharks, so we decided it would be better for Scott's mother to live as a free woman working to pay off her debt. Hopefully, she'll learn a valuable lesson or two. That guy who lent her money actually contacted me, seeing as it was my debit card he was now holding on to. Once I explained to him what was happening and why my husband and I had cut ties with his mother off, though, he seemed to understand we wouldn't be lifting a finger to help her and let it go. Even just hearing his voice on the phone, I could understand that it was no small trouble Kathy had found herself in. According to him, she borrowed something like $300,000. I sure hope she finds a way to pay him back soon, for her sake.
Hey there! Just checking, but is this Faith? Who is this? And how did you get my number?
My name's Maria. I'm actually the one dating your husband.
What does that mean? I don't follow.
Wait, you're Nathan's wife, right? Uh-oh, did I accidentally message the wrong person?
No, I think you've got the right number. I just have no idea what you're talking about. My name is Faith, and my husband's name is Nathan.
I'm so glad to hear that.
Well, I'm not.
Oh yeah, I totally get that. I wouldn't be too excited either.
What do you mean by dating? My husband's been missing for the past 7 years. You do know that, right?
Oh yeah, he told me all about that. Ever since March of 2015, your husband has been gone, right? It was like he completely vanished into thin air.
Yes, that's correct. He suddenly disappeared one day, and all that was left was a note saying he was going on a trip to find himself. It also seemed like he had gotten rid of his phone, so I had no way to actually contact him. And no matter where I looked, I just couldn't find him. Yet you're suddenly messaging me saying you're dating him?
Well, Nathan was on his trip. Fate brought us together.
Oh yeah? How so?
You see, we met while I was trying to hike every mountain in California. And it was love at first sight. We've actually been living together for the past 5 years, by the way.
Are you serious?
Yep.
So, I want to give you the benefit of the doubt here. I want to believe that you had no idea he was married during those 5 years. And I'm guessing you recently found out, and that's why you decided to message me?
Huh? No, I knew all about that from the start.
Oh, wow. Never mind.
Yep, Nathan told me everything when we first met. About his marriage, about his trip to find himself. But none of that mattered to me. That's why we've been living together for 5 years now.
And you had no problem at all being with a married man? You didn't feel bad at all? Don't you have a conscience? A normal person would break it off. I can't believe he's been having an affair this whole time.
This isn't just an affair. Fate brought us together. This is true love.
You can say that despite knowingly being involved with a married man.
Yep, and that's why we've been living together, just like a married couple would. But last month, I found out that I was pregnant.
You've got to be kidding me.
Oh, don't worry, the kid is definitely his. Nathan was so happy. It brought him to tears.
Hold on a second. What the hell is going on? My husband was finally confirmed to be alive after 7 long years. But during that time, he's been living with his mistress? And to add insult to injury, his mistress just admitted to me that she's pregnant with his child? What's the point of even telling me about all this? What's your end goal here?
Oh, you really don't get it? I want you to get a divorce with him.
Oh, now it all makes sense.
That's right. Of course, Nathan's on board with it already. Since his child will be here soon, he probably felt like this needed to happen ASAP. He wants to formalize our marriage and live a happy life with me and our child. So please get divorced with him ASAP.
I would have never guessed he was off doing all of this. It didn't even cross my mind that something like this could even happen. I didn't think he was the type of person to do this.
Well, don't worry. Nathan's trip to find himself is finally over. He went out to find himself, but he found me instead. And as his ex-wife, I think you should be happy for him.
Why should I be happy for him?
Because he's getting everything he wanted. Everything he obviously wasn't getting while he was with you. He's finally having a child like he always wanted. I feel a little bad about suddenly asking you to divorce him, but this is just how things turned out. So I hope you understand and make things snappy.
I guess you're right. On one hand, I'm a little relieved he's alive and safe. On the other hand, I'm devastated this is what he was doing while he's been gone. And if he's happier with you, then please live a happy and loving life together.
Wowee! You're actually a pretty smart girl, huh?
Anyways, I'll let you know when I get everything processed for the divorce, okay? Bye. Hey, Jake. It's been a while. Are you free to chat for a bit?
Hey, Faith. I haven't heard from you in like forever. What's up?
Okay, so I've got a lot to say. To start, I finally found Nathan.
Wait, what? After 7 years, you finally found where my brother's been? So, that means he's alive, right? Well, where is he? Where did you find him?
Well, I don't know the exact location.
What do you mean?
Well, you see, some girl named Maria just texted me saying that she's been dating him. She said that they met after he disappeared and that they've been dating for the past 5 years.
Are you serious? That's what he's been doing?
And then she said that she's pregnant with his child. She also mentioned that they want to formalize their relationship and get married. So she wants me to start the divorce proceedings as soon as possible.
Wait, hold on a second. This is also insane to take in all at once. So basically, he was living a completely new life?
Yeah, that's right. It's like he didn't even care about how worried we all were. And that woman still dated him despite knowing that he was a married man. I feel like this is the plot of a movie.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we got thrown into the cast.
Well, whatever. I'm just glad to hear that he's okay. I still don't know exactly where he is right now, but I figured I'd let you know as soon as possible.
Thanks for keeping me in the loop. Just knowing that he's alive is enough for me. This is a lot for both of us, but it's a huge weight off my shoulders. I'm sure it is for you, too.
Yeah, no problem. You've done so much for me over these past 7 years. It was the least I could do. Plus, we spent so long looking for Nathan together.
Yeah, you're right. I guess next you should ask that girl some questions. Like where Nathan's actually at. If you can, try and get his number from her, too.
He definitely doesn't want us to know his number. Why else would he have his mistress message us instead of himself?
I guess things never change, huh? He's still a jerk.
Well, regardless, I'll try and see if I can get some information out of her. Or maybe we could figure out a way to get him to contact us instead.
Well, as long as you keep calm, you'll probably figure something out. I wonder when she's going to give birth, or if they'll have a legit wedding. She doesn't sound like the brightest person, so maybe she'll accidentally let something slip when bragging to you.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Well, if I find out anything, I'll let you know immediately.
You're taking too long! When are Nathan and I going to be able to get married? Hurry up and submit the divorce papers!
Sorry, since he's been missing for so long, it took a little longer than I expected. But perfect timing. I actually just got notified that the processing of the divorce papers have been completed.
Wait, really?
Yeah, so you two can get married or whatever now.
Yay! Thanks so much. Alrighty then. Guess I'll register us for marriage later today. And after that, we'll have to get all of our stuff packed to move into his old house.
You can't be serious. You know that's where I live, don't you?
Well, I heard something really interesting from Nathan. He told me he built the house you were living in all by himself. And you know what that means, right? The house is actually under his name.
So in other words, you're trying to kick me out of my own home just so you two can live in it together?
Yep. After all, a child needs a nice home to grow up in.
Not only are you trying to take my husband from me, you're also trying to take my home away from me too? Well, aren't you shameless?
I'm not shameless one bit. Actually, now that you mention it, you're the real shameless one. First you divorce him, then you try to continue living in his home.
What the hell do you mean?
Even if you wait patiently for the next 7 years, you don't have the right to live in that house anymore. After all, you're not his wife anymore. I am. So why don't you get out of my house, ex-wife?
You do know that this is my house, right? I have no right to live here? You must be truly confused. You two are the ones with no right to live here.
Oh yeah? How do you figure that?
But hey, a house this big is too much for me. I'm a generous person. I wouldn't mind moving out of here. But in return, I'll act as the landlord, and you two will pay me a monthly rent.
Wait, hold on. Give me a second to process this. What you're saying makes literally no sense. The house is under his name, right? And if that's the case, his ex-wife has no right to stay in his house, let alone ask us to pay for rent.
Oh, I must have forgotten to bring this little fact up. I've been pretty flustered lately due to recent events. While he was enjoying his life of absence, I changed whose name the house was under. Nathan was gone all this time, and I had no idea if he'd be coming back or not. There were a lot of things in his name that I changed to mine, the house being one of them.
You can't be serious.
Do you know what happens when you file a missing persons report? Well, if someone is missing for 7 or more years, they're declared dead.
That's not true. I've never heard of something so stupid in my life. He's obviously not dead, though.
That doesn't matter anymore. What's done is done. I did exactly what the law instructed me to do. If they are declared dead, their assets and inheritance are distributed. Well, since I did divorce him, I'm not entitled to his inheritance. But you know who is? His little brother, Jake. And with his help, I was able to pay off the mortgage to the house. And that's how I was easily able to get the rights to the land and the property. So to summarize, the house is mine.
This can't be true. You're so selfish and mean. Even though he was still alive. I had no idea that stupid rule existed. If we had known, we would have gotten in touch with you much sooner.
You think we're selfish and mean? You're the one dating my husband and waving it all in my face. If he didn't want to be declared dead, he should have come out of hiding.
Hold on a second. Are you trying to blame us for this?
Blame you? For what you did? Yes, honey, I am. Thanks to you, I now know he's still alive. So after you contacted me, I decided to remove the missing persons report and reinstate him as alive. But it took much longer for them to process it than I was expecting. Sorry for making you wait so long.
Wait, so you withdrew it? So that means that everything you've said up until this point was just to tease me, right? Doesn't that just mean that you bought his house without his consent? So the house and the land will go back under his name.
Sorry to tell you this, but that won't work.
What? Why not?
Normally, the house and land would go back to the original owner, but if it is sold to a third party, then it can't be returned. Even better, I wasn't the one who requested a divorce, so none of it will be going back to the two of you. Anyways, feel free to get married whenever you two want, okay?
OMG! This isn't what we wanted to happen! This country is so stupid! Who thinks of rules like that? You're being way more cruel than I was.
All I can say is if he had come home sooner, he wouldn't have been declared dead. After all, it takes about 7 years from when someone goes missing for them to officially be declared dead.
Well, I didn't know that! That would mean that he was declared dead this year, wouldn't it?
Yep, that's right. That's what I meant when I said that he should have come out of hiding sooner.
I can't believe this. If only we had contacted you just a little bit sooner.
Hey, Faith, guess what? He finally did it! My brother finally messaged me.
Wait, did he really?
Seems like he's panicking after losing his property. I could tell from the way he was typing. He was sending texts at a mile a minute and every other word was spelled wrong. Thanks to that, I found out his number and where he's been living.
That's great to hear. I'm just glad I filed the missing persons report so soon after he disappeared. And I have to thank you as well for helping me buy the house.
It was my pleasure. Thanks to that, we finally got my brother to come out of hiding. Now, after so many years, we'll finally be rid of all of this.
This must have been really rough on you too, huh, Jake? Anyways, I'll help you with anything you need from now on. So just let me know if anything comes up.
Thank you very much. I'm going to start by wringing my brother dry.
Hey, Faith! What the hell does this mean? Nathan told me that his brother was demanding $120,000.
It's Nathan's own fault for trying to run away from his debts. So why don't you tell that lover of yours that this is all his fault? No one else's but his.
Well, Nathan didn't know why he was being asked for so much money. That's why I came to ask you.
What do you mean?
Nathan said he had no idea why his debt was so high. He did mention that he took out a loan before he disappeared, but that shouldn't have mattered. After all, he said the loan was only about $40,000. He said he didn't borrow $120,000.
After all these years, that $40,000 has appreciated to $120,000.
What does that mean?
Wait a second. He told you he took out a loan? Well, of course you'd say that. Yeah, there was no loan. You want to know where that came from? That was the money his parents saved up for his little brother Jake to go to college. Right before he left, Nathan got access to the account where the money was and wiped it clean.
He never told me that.
We didn't find out until after he was gone, but it looks like he stole that money to finance his trip. He completely ruined his brother's life. He was all set to go to college, but at the last minute, he had to drop out since he couldn't pay for it. Instead, he had to start working construction right out of high school.
Wait, are you telling the truth?
What benefit would I get out of lying? Just like he left a note for me, he left a note for Jake telling him he needed the money because he was divorcing me. He told him to keep it a secret. Jake just went along with it because there was literally nothing else he could have done. In reality, I'm assuming he was just blowing that cash on himself and then eventually you. It was only much later Jake and I got close and he obviously found out that we weren't divorced yet. That's the type of person who just knocked you up. Good luck with all of that.
I didn't know any of that.
Oh, you didn't expect that from the guy who walked out on his wife and started dating someone new while he was still technically married? Jake's been holding this grudge for the past 7 years.
So that's why Jake told Nathan that he owes him $120,000? No matter how angry he is, it's illegal to increase the loan from $40,000 to $120,000.
It's not illegal. In fact, the only thing that's illegal was Nathan taking the money. Jake's not doing anything wrong.
He didn't take that much.
I think Jake's giving his brother an ultimatum. Either he pays back the money he took plus interest, or he presses charges and goes to jail.
You're kidding.
Maria, did you not know? If you leave a loan without paying it, it'll rack up interest. There's the principal debt, the base interest rate, and the late payment fees. When you add all of that together, Jake figures it comes to about $120,000.
Whatever! He's just not going to pay that ridiculous amount. My child's going to be born soon, so how could this happen to us? We won't have a new home to live in, and now we owe $120,000? What are we going to do?
I don't care at all. You two fools chose this path. Well, whatever. Since you two are fated to be together, you'll figure something out.
How can you be so cold?
I'm glad that this was enough to put Nathan in a panic, though. Thanks to that, we finally know his number and where he lives. So now it's our turn to strike. We're going to pay the two of you back in full for all you've done to us.
What do you mean by the two of us? I didn't even know about the money that Nathan borrowed. I'm innocent. My only crime is loving him.
If you truly love someone, you'll do anything for them, right? After all, you're going to be his wife soon.
What the hell do you expect me to do? All I wanted was to live a happy life with him and our child.
All you've done is think about yourself. Do you have no empathy for what happened to his little brother? He was manipulated by the man you love. He had to break his back to get to where he is today because his future was ruined by his own brother. It's been 7 years, and only recently has he found a company that he actually enjoys working for. But now he's having to work while also going to college. He has so much pressure on him to succeed.
How was I supposed to know about all of that? I just want to live happily with the person I love.
Of course you wouldn't know that because you don't spend a second thinking about anyone other than yourself and my stupid ex-husband. That's why I don't feel bad for making you two pay for what you've done. After all, you're the one who was having an affair with my husband. I have the right to press charges on you, just like I have the right to charge him.
Wait, stop! Please hold on a second.
You've known about this affair for over 5 years now. You might want to consult a lawyer soon, by the way.
Please hold on a second. I don't need all this stress. I'm a pregnant woman. My child is going to be born soon. Please have mercy. Please.
How about this? If you make sure that Nathan doesn't try and run away from all of this, I won't come after you and your baby.
What do you mean?
I want you to stay by Nathan's side and keep an eye on him. In other words, I want you to make sure he doesn't try and run away again. After all, Someone who has run away once will likely try to run away again.
If I do that, you won't come after me specifically? If I make sure that Nathan doesn't run away, will you promise to leave me and my baby alone?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. His little brother helped me out a lot over these past 7 years, so I'll continue to help Jake recover the money that his brother owes him. I won't push for anything more.
Thank you so much. All right, if you promise me, then I'll make sure that Nathan doesn't run away.
Okay, you can consider this a formal contract with me. But if he does try to run away, you better stop him and contact me immediately. Do you understand?
Of course. Leave everything to me.
As I expected, Nathan ended up trying to abandon Maria. But it seems like she caught him packing his bags to leave by himself. And when that happened, she contacted me immediately. Actually, to keep him from running away, I allowed them both to live in my old house. It was all part of my plan that he was too stupid to realize. I set up security cameras around the premises, and Jake confiscated Nathan's wallet, credit card, and smartphone. Because of that, Nathan decided to quit trying to run away and instead took on 2 jobs, one at a factory that his family runs and another at a private company. Now he works every day of the week with no breaks. At first, Maria took on part-time jobs to help with the payments, but she mentioned that a lot of people have been loaning Nathan money. And as such, his debt has been steadily increasing, so now she wants to divorce him as soon as she can. When she told me that, I could tell that she was in tears.
What was that little stunt you pulled all about, huh? You really had to go do that at my husband's funeral, and the funeral for your husband's father. You know that makes him your father-in-law, right? How could you just leave so suddenly in the middle of the service? I've never seen someone act so rude in my entire life. I'm really very sorry. It's just that, well, my water broke then. You knew 3 days in advance that this funeral was happening. You should have done more to prepare and control your body. Do you think that just because you're pregnant that you can say, my water broke to everyone and expect to get away with everything? I really am truly sorry. I don't know what else to say. And you think that your little apology is enough to fix all the damage you've caused. Just how do you think your husband felt about you ditching his father's funeral? And that's to say nothing about the feelings of everyone else there. Do you know that your actions made everyone at the funeral very, very upset? But everyone was kind and quick to call me a taxi and let me lean on them for support. I thought that everyone there was being really kind to me. Well, you would think that, but open your eyes. It's not like anyone had any choice but to act that way in that situation. And now everyone here is talking about you. They're all talking about how irresponsible it was for you to let your water break at a funeral of all places. I don't think anyone would really do that, though. Excuse me. So now you're calling me a liar. And it's not just the others here that are talking about how bad you screwed up. Tobias is here saying the same thing, you know. He is? He's saying things like, I really just don't know what to do about that woman. I mean, how could you let her water break like that and cause a big scene at my own father's funeral? He even said, I only ever married in the first place so she could have my kid. Now that that's done with, I wish she would just hand him over to me and leave us already. Those were his exact words, if I recall correctly. But he would never say that about me. Well, I'm afraid that he did just that. I think it'd be best if you stopped living in your little fantasy world and faced reality like an adult. I don't believe you. Maybe I'll go and ask Tobias himself if he said those things. What do you think about that? That's fine with me. Why would I care if you ask him to repeat what I've already told you here? Go for it. So, you really have no problems with me asking Tobias if he really did say what you said he did? Of course not. After all, those were the things he said. Why don't you go ask him and hear him say it for yourself? But then again, once Tobias knows that you know how he truly feels about you, I doubt he'll wait that long to toss you aside. Once you've given birth to his child, that is. But, so you're telling the truth? Tobias really said everything that you said he did. How many times do I have to explain this to you? And to think I was the only one kind enough to tell you how he really felt? Anyways, that's why I want you to leave my son. It'd be best if you just did it yourself and disappeared without a word to him. Once you have his kid, just leave the hospital. We'll take care of everything after that. Don't you worry. I don't think I can do that. I don't care. I'm trying to be really patient in explaining this to you, but you need to wake up to reality. Nobody in this family, not a single person, cares about you. We are all so eager to hurry up and forget you. You probably just broke your water at the funeral for attention because you thought everyone would try to take care of you and pity the poor pregnant lady. What? Of course I didn't do that. I would never even think of doing something that awful. How do you even break your own water? It doesn't even matter now. You're an adult and you should have had better self-control. We're sick of you not taking responsibility for your actions. You are just dead weight at this point, did you know that? All it takes is for you to walk to a room to piss people off. And to think such a horrible woman is eating my precious Tobias's time and money. Well, it just makes me feel sick. I can't stand it. What? But I was working up until I got pregnant. Even now I haven't quit my job. I'm just on a break. Do you even know how spoiled you sound right now? Besides, even when you were working, your salary never even got close to your husband's. I can't believe you would even try and defend yourself like that when it's my son who's putting food on your table and making sure you're fed and clothed. Honestly, do you even think before you send a message? Why, how could you even say such cruel things about someone? It's awful. I told you just looking at you makes me mad. You're always smiling so sweetly. It's pathetic. But what I hate most of all about you is that you're all looks and nothing else. All you do is rely on your looks and try to please people. I just can't stand those kinds of people. And that's the reason why you hate me so much? I just wish you'd realize that all you are is dead weight and just leave my family alone. Sarah, honey, are you okay? Hi, Tobias. Yes, I'm fine. I think I've settled down a bit and I'm okay now, thank you. I'm just so sorry. I never meant for it to happen at your father's funeral, I swear. Well, it's not like it was something you could control. It's no one's fault your water broke, so there's no need to apologize. Besides, everyone here is so worried about you. Are you feeling okay physically? I really do think I'm alright now. I guess I was just really caught off guard and freaked out a bit earlier. I really hope that's all that happened, Sarah. You really weren't looking yourself today and I was worried. Don't tell me my mom said something to you. What did she say to you? Well, she has said a bunch of different things to me since we saw her this morning. She said things like I shouldn't have even shown my face at the funeral, that your dad hated me, just so many awful things. That woman. Sometimes I just don't know who she thinks she is. She never knows when to keep her words to herself and leave well enough alone. I'm so sorry that you had to go through that, Sarah. I should have been watching more closely over you two to make sure that exact thing didn't happen. Well, what do you think, Tobias? What do I think? What do I think about what? About me. Do you really just think I'm a deadbeat wife? Wait. Where is all of this coming from all of a sudden? Well, that's what your mom said that you thought. That you only married me so I could have your kid and that once it was born that you'd kick me to the curb? She wouldn't. Is that really what my mom told you earlier? Just tell me, Tobias. I want to know how you really feel about me. Sarah, I love you with all my heart. I would never even think to associate you with a word like deadbeat. And more than that, I'm really looking forward to raising our child together. I would never, ever even dream of leaving you after you'd given birth. That is how I really feel about you, Sarah. Do you believe me? You're really telling the truth, aren't you? That is up for you to decide. But I guess I would just really like to think if the version of me that you know would ever say such horrible things as my mom said I did. No, Tobias, I don't think that about you at all. I never thought you really said those things. I guess your mom was just trying to put a bunch of lies into my head after all. I'm sorry for even making you doubt the feelings that I have for you, Tobias.
It's okay, really. I think my mom is just under a lot of mental stress right now. I guess it's only natural. Or maybe she really does think that I hate you.
You think that's really how she thinks about us?
I think it might be. After all, when we talk about you, she only ever asks about the negative things. She's always asking me stuff like, what did Sarah break this time? Or what was the last thing she did to make you mad? Always that kind of stuff. And whenever I try to change the subject and talk about all your good points, she just kind of tunes me out.
Wow. I guess she really thinks that you want to leave me, doesn't she? I mean, if all she does is make you complain about me, then it's only natural that she would think that you want a divorce from me.
Ah, you're probably right about that. I just can't believe she could be so blind. Well, the funeral is over, so I'm gonna head straight over to the hospital. I don't think I can stand to be around my mom anymore right now.
It's okay, I understand. I'll see you soon.
Hey, have you given birth to my grandchild yet?
Oh, hello, Susan. Yes, thankfully I managed to have a safe delivery. And once again, I'm so sorry for the trouble I caused yesterday.
Here we go again with your meaningless apologies. You really are pathetic, you know that? It'll be such a relief once we're not family anymore.
I'm sorry, what do you mean by that?
How dare you let your water break at my dear husband's funeral? You don't deserve to be my son's wife. Why don't you just hand over my grandchild and leave Tobias forever? Actually, you'll be the one leaving, Mom, not me. What? Tobias? I said get out, Mom. If you're not family with Sarah anymore, then I'm not a part of your family either. What are you saying, sweetie? How can you say such things to your own mother? I just told you, you're not my mom anymore. I want nothing to do with you ever again. I know it's harsh, but you need to leave my house, Mom. Dad left the house to me in his will, and I am telling you to get out. Wait, Toby, don't you think you're acting just a little rashly right now? She's making you do this, isn't she? She's tricking you, honey, can't you see? She's just an evil, heartless woman. No, Mom. The only one that's been tricking me up until now is you. I've always let you get away with so much just because you're my mom, and all that's done is cause trouble for Sarah. I really thought it through and reflected on what I've done. From now on, I won't let you hurt her anymore. You can't do that to me. I'm your mother. What will people think? What will people think of you lecturing someone for having their water break during a funeral? Which, by the way, the whole family knows about now. What? Why would they know about what I said to her? Because, Mom, after the funeral, everyone came to the hospital to come check up on Sarah. When her water broke at the funeral, she was so scared and everyone was so worried about it. So then, you're telling me that everyone's at the hospital right now? That's right. Some coincidence that my wife happens to give birth to our child the day after my father's funeral. It's a little ironic, but thanks to the funeral, the whole family was already here in town, and so everyone came to the hospital to congratulate Sarah. And that's why everybody who is here now knows all about the kind of messages you've been sending my wife. No, you're lying. They can't all know. And that you're so upset over people knowing now? You know that what you were saying to her was wrong. You were always trying to highlight the negative about her. And we're moving to get rid of Sarah after she gave birth to our kid, weren't you? I've already had it confirmed to me from other relatives that all you did was badmouth Sarah to them whenever she came up as a topic. No, Tobias, I promise that's not what I was trying to do. And then you even went so far as to tell Sarah lies about things that I was saying about her, that she was a deadbeat wife, or that once she had our kid that I would throw her out of the house. It was all lies and you knew it. It's unforgivable, Mom. No, it's not like that. I promise from the bottom of my heart that I'm telling you the truth right now. Can't you see you're just being manipulated by this evil woman? Can't you understand that, Tobias? I don't believe you. How could I ever after you've showed what a big liar you are? Tobias, how How could you say that to your own mother? I told you we're not family anymore. Are you at home right now? Get your stuff packed right now. Leave and never come back. Do you understand me? Well, even if I did do all that, I'm still your mother, right? I raised you and took care of you all this time, haven't I? Don't you have any shame as a son? No, I guess I don't. Too bad for you. But how can you just throw away your mother so easily like that? This isn't an easy choice for me, but I love Sarah from the bottom of my heart. And if all you're gonna do is insult and disrespect that woman, then I don't think I want you in my life any longer. I'm not just making a brash decision. I've put a lot of thought into what I'm doing right now. And what I need you to understand right now is that I haven't forgotten all you've done for me, but what you've done to Sarah far outweighs that. No, Tobias, can't you see you're just being tricked? There's nothing worth loving about that girl. She's just an evil woman who you should only use to get a child and then leave her. Wow, you sure do seem to know an awful lot about my wife that I don't. Why don't you share some of your wisdom? What about Sarah do you think makes her an evil woman? Wait, well, because of all the things you've told me about her. You do know that I only ever told you those things because those were the only things you would ever ask about, right? I really just kind of told you some small things that I could think of. Wait, I just thought of one bad trait that she has. Recently, she found a dollar bill on the floor of a mall we were in and gave it to security in case anyone was missing it. So I guess she's a bad person for giving people more work to do over a dollar bill. Otherwise, yeah, she's always smiling and steps up to face any challenge before her. You're right about one thing. She is always smiling. So maybe that does mean she's one of the most evil women alive. That's right. So why not leave her? Take your child and come live with me. You're right. Sarah really is the worst. You were right this whole time. But I love that evil woman. And that's why we're going to keep living together, and you will never see the two of us ever again. But you can't do that! By the way, you're also never going to meet your grandson either. Even better, everyone at the hospital right now says they never want to see you again either. You're lying! And I know how badly you wanted grandchildren. The reason you're okay with her and I getting married was because you thought it was the fastest way to get one, didn't you? Well, that's too bad for you. Now you'll never get to meet your grandchild. Please, Tobias, you can't just abandon me like this. I've lost my home, my family. I'm not sure how I'll be able to go on. At least let me see my grandchild. Even once will do. Isn't this about the time that you should be begging for a chance to apologize and make amends with Sarah? That just goes to show you really don't think about anyone but yourself. You were never good at raising kids anyway. Just do us a favor and leave us alone. Of course I want to apologize. I'll go straight to the hospital and get on my knees for her. Please, at least let me keep living at the house. You really don't get it. Our decision is final. You will never see your grandchild or us again. All you want is to steal my time and money. It makes me sick. After that, Susan was kicked out of her home and all of her relatives cut ties with her. Tobias, worried that his mother might try something since she knew where they lived, sold the house immediately. Now we've moved out and we're living happily in a new city. Susan tried to contact her relatives to beg for help. Knowing everything she said to me, nobody offered her a hand. Realizing nobody in town wanted anything to do with her anymore, I guess she finally must have packed her things and moved. Although I can't imagine how hard it must have been for her to lose her husband, son, and grandchild all around the same time. And there are times when I do feel really sorry for her. With my newborn daughter, I don't have any time to linger on the past. I have to live for this child now. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.